Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Alex and this is a follow-up to my last video where I talked about the Rolex, Cartier and Patek Philippe novelties from Watches and Wonders. In this video I would like to cover a couple of other brands. I would like to talk to you about Tudor, I would like to talk to you about Vacheron Constantin and also about IWC and mention a bit about Hublot and Zenith. So yeah, let's get started with Tudor. What do I could say about Tudor? I mean, I love the idea of the Black Bay Pro because I'm a big fan of the original, the Rolex 1655 Explorer 2. Unfortunately for me, I don't find the Black Bay thin enough. It's very thick. And this is unfortunately a problem we've seen with many of the modern Tudor watches the last couple of years, is that they have some trouble to slim down the case enough. I mean, just look at the first Black Bay version compared to the Black Bay 58. The Black Bay 58 was such a great hit, and it's mainly because of the more wearable size, that's 39, and also the slimmer case proportions overall. So I'd love to see a slimmer version of the Black Bay Pro, because then I would seriously consider one for myself to serve as a beater everyday watch. They also released the GMT in the root beer colors basically, and also they released the chronograph in two-tone, and that one I've never really liked that much. I find it also way too thick and big. But yeah, I mean, I think the Black Bay Pro will be a big hit, even considering the thickness. Moving on to IWC, that introduced two new versions in their Top Gun series. We have the Lake Tahoe, which comes in a white ceramic case, and then we have the Woodland that comes in a green ceramic case. The watches look great. They measure 44.5 millimeters and are quite thick, so unfortunately not for my wrist. However, they introduced also the Pilot's watch in 41 millimeter in Ceratanium, which is a great looking watch. And I've been a fan. I mean, actually one of my first watches ever was a Pilot's watch from IWC. So I've always had this kind of, extra good eye for the brand. But unfortunately, most of the models nowadays are a bit too big for my wrist. They received a lot of good critique on the fair. And yeah, I mean, just cool looking Pilot's watches. I mean, if you buy a white ceramic watch and with this case size, I guess you use it so people will notice it. You don't buy it to be discreet. Vacheron Constantin introduced the 222 in their Historiques collection, and this is probably one of the most talked about watches this year. So the 222 originally came out in 1977, shortly after the Royal Oak and the Nautilus, and was kind of the Vacheron answer, or watch in that segment. They've made it almost exactly the same as the original one, and it's quite hard to tell a difference. The new version has of course a different movement and also an open case back. It's a nice looking watch, and this one will be very hard to get. So they did a great job with that one, even though they didn't really invent something new. And then they also introduced two new open worked or skeletonized tourbillons in the Overseas line. So we had one in full rose gold and that's a first for Vacheron to make a full titanium watch on a bracelet, because before they've only used titanium for the case, but now it also comes in titanium bracelet. And I held these two side by side, and there was such a big difference between the heavy rose gold one and the very lightweight titanium. But these watches look amazing, super nice finish, and yeah. Also they introduced a open worked or skeletonized perpetual calendar, and this one has now a blue color scheme on it compared to the older version that was white. So that's I'd say the four most important releases from Vacheron. They also introduced perpetual calendars for ladies, a couple of new ladies watches, etc. Last but not least, I would like to throw a punch at my favorite brand Hublot, because they didn't really come up with something nice this year. They introduced the square bang, which looks ridiculous. I really don't like it. It looks like a big ass TV screen on your wrist. They also introduced, you know, a couple of new ceramic watches in the Big Bang Integral in different colors. They introduced sapphire watches, tourbillons, stuff like that. They put a bracelet on the Orlinsky watch that I like, the classic Fusion Orlinsky, on a rubber strap. I love it, but now they put on this super blingy bracelet and it looks shite, to be honest. And then also I would like to throw a punch at Zenith that I've, you know, posted quite a couple of pieces on Instagram that I've been impressed with. They did widen the range of their Chronomaster line, the Chronomaster Sport that is, and they did it semi-open work. They call it the Chronomaster Open. I don't like it at all. Never liked that kind of design from Zenith, to be honest. We've seen it during the years. Then they also introduced two-tone versions and rose gold versions of the Chronomaster Sport. I didn't like them, I'm afraid. And yeah, I hope to see some better stuff from Zenith during this year. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's it. It was a great time being in Geneva. It was very intense. It was a lot of fun and great to finally see some novelties in the flesh and to take some photos of them. Unfortunately, no footage from the show since I didn't really manage to do it myself. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you liked the most from Watches and Wonders 2022 and also what you didn't like. And also I'd be thankful if you hit the thumbs up to this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys and see you next time.